following podcast may contain some adult language. You've been warned.
Welcome to Finding the Narrative, a Genesys RPG Podcast. This is a show dedicated to the Genesys Role Playing System, created by Fantasy Flight Games, and produced by Edge Studios. A show in which we, your hosts, discuss all things Genesys from both a player's and a GM's perspective. I am Tony Fanning, and with me, as always, are my good friends and co-hosts, Chris Holmes and Stefan Dragonspawn. Chris, homie, how you doing? Besides looking dapper over there.
I'm doing pretty good. I've watched a bunch of Marvel this week because I binge watched WandaVision, of course. Then I decided to watch all the Marvel movies in chronological order throughout the week, and that took a little while. And so that's going through my head. But dude, I'm excited to play in some Primordial Machina tonight.
Right on.
With Stefan. What's up, buddy?
Yep. Hey. I am pretty good too. Looking forward to this as well. It's been a little while. So we're going to go back to the Primordial Machina.
Yep.
We're not alone this time. We have a special guest, right, Tony?
That's right. Without further ado, my spawn.
Hi.
Yes, my son Sean will be joining us.
That's right. We were just talking that he hasn't been on a show since like Con on the Cob, circa 2019. So a little while.
Yep.
But that's all right. We're playing some Starfinder on Wednesday night anyway, right? There's Sean coming up.
Indeed they are. I'm glad to be back.
Yep.
Always nice.
Yeah,
Always nice to get to play old 77.
Yeah.
That's right. You helped make this character.
I helped make him, and I think I was the first person to play him.
That's right.
We made him for that Con on the Cob, and then I played him at that Con on the Cob.
That's right. That dapper-looking metal guy.
All right. So our three intrepid adventurers last session, I'll give you a brief overview, were exploring some ruins in the Earth Elemental Manifest Zone known as the Shifting Sands. When they at the ruins, they met another archaeologist and her team and were working together with her, when suddenly in the night she was kidnapped and the rest of her crew murdered by some terrorists from the organization known as the Immortal Resurgence, which you recognize them by their clothing that they wear. After a brief chase through the desert and one of them summoning a sand kraken to fight you guys, you used an archaeological device that you had been studying to open a portal to an unknown place to escape. Left your horribly damaged dune buggy behind.
Yeah.
And the three of you plus the unconscious archaeologist stepped through the portal into a long lost place, which you determined to be a burial chamber on the edge of a long sought after ruin, the city of the Tors of Ama Sabat, which was once one of the major power centers during the Fey God King's reign. It was known as the Gilded Tower, the Gilded Towers. It had many names. Mainly, it was a bunch of vertical spires that were grown from a verdant jungle made of plants and stone. And they were known for their riches. That's all you know of the place. Now, the Fey God King that ruled over this land His name was lost to history, though I have not given Richter a chance to search his notes and perhaps have that information written down somewhere.
Might take me a little while to figure it out too. So
this place also has a more common name, which is known as, to some adventurers who have supposedly been here, known as the Crying Sky. Supposedly, there have been adventurers that have come here, but none that you know of have returned. But if someone didn't return, then how did it get the name the Crying Sky? So,
No one has admitted they're returning from it.
This image that I shared last session, of this
Mm-hmm.
place, and you have exited the tomb, these elven tombs,
without grabbing anything, like
without
these poor
stealing
fuckers.
anything.
Like these poor fuckers did. That's what it kind of looked like, right? So
Yeah.
and I think I had said that we tried to put stuff back and preserve what was already taken there if we could, but as we were going out, so
Right. And this
kind of where we left off, I think.
beautiful verdant land lays out before you with stone tors that rise into the sky. They appear to have like living quarters or ruins at the top of the tors. You don't have any external ways of getting from the top to the bottom that you can see, other than the occasional hole in the side, perhaps.
Right. Well, that's something you don't see every day.
Definitely
And we seem to
not.
be on one ourselves, right?
You do appear to be on one of them yourselves, yes. Now, you look out in the distance, and which you don't see in the image here, but what you see out in the distance is a churning storm on the edge of the horizon. Just purple and green lightning, and indicative of a air manifest zone way out there.
What we would normally see at the edge of an air manifest zone, we would think.
Say again?
Is that what we would normally see at the edge of like an air manifest zone?
Not always. It's just
or not always, but
it's indicative
okay.
Of that type of zone.
Got it.
In that storms are quite common. Large, huge storm clouds, strange colored lightning, always a common factor in an air manifest zone.
Gotcha.
And then there's these motes of rock that float up in the sky above this land that are spewing water. And it just kind of rains down into the jungle.
Well, let's see if there's any way for us to get down from here or to one of the other towers. Zandra steps forward, at least one gun in hand, just in case, and starts walking out.
Okay. Look around. There doesn't
Her
appear
hair
to be
whipping
anything.
in the air.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be anything. No stairs, no ramp, no ladders, no ropes, no anything that you can see here. Now, this tour you're on does continue off and goes around some.
Okay. Well, we may as well go around.
Yeah, let's kind of check it out then.
Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps we'll find someplace else.
And maybe search these folks. Maybe they have some quote unquote adventuring gear and a 50-foot rope. But it looks like we need longer than a 50-foot rope.
Are the corpses laying around? Do you want to search them? Is that what you said?
Yeah. See if they have any see if they came with gear.
Or
This
clues.
has a few
what
things that I may be able to purloin.
Well, perhaps they have clues
Yeah.
on why we're here.
Now, Sean, you were not present at the end of the last session, but the coins, the jewels, and the copper urns appear to belong inside the dungeon behind you, inside the tomb behind you, and it looks these two had determined possibly that by removing them from the tomb. The individuals here, it's what killed them.
Probably perished. Yeah. So I encourage you not to grab that stuff.
Cursed objects. Got it.
Yeah. So, but mainly Tony just looking for.
But that's something
climbing
that
gear stuff they may have.
That's something old 77. I don't think he kind of lingered back with the archaeologist watching over her.
Yeah.
And so the two of you are out here, and he kind of walks up behind. He's got her slung in his arms still.
How's she doing? She's still out there.
She's still surviving.
Lad. Okay. Well.
Yeah, if you want to search the bodies
a little bit.
They appear to be wearing clothing from a military organization. Uniforms of some kind. They do not have any adventuring gear that you can see on them beyond a pickaxe and shovel.
Right.
Again, okay.
Themselves, they have cavalry swords as far as weapons, and they appear to have been they're either human or one of the amalgam races when they were alive. That's what you notice readily from looking at them closely.
Anything that would indicate why they were here? Like papers that, or some kind of book that might, a journal.
Also, under the pickaxes would probably indicate that they were here to steal shit.
Medicine check?
I'll do a medicine check. To see how long they may have been dead. How long it's been.
Yes.
That would probably tell you. That'll tell you something. Yes. We'll call it average.
All right. Anything else? That look good to you? Looks good to me. All right. 3 successes, 3 advantage. All right.
So the bones are bleached, yet still have hair attached. The bodies themselves they have a large amount of dust built up around them, as if they've been laying here for a while. A little pile, little berms of dust that is blown up around them. There's no organs left to the body. It looks like all of the skin and soft tissue and everything has completely decayed, with the exception of the hair. So you're thinking about 2-3 years they've been here. Now, at least minimum 2-3 years. Now, because you had 3 successes, though, I'm going to throw, if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of tweak your advantage there and say that you recognize the military uniform that they're wearing, in that it was from a failed city-state of about 30 years ago.
Oh, I'll relay that to them.
All right. Okay.
Failed a while ago.
And that was it was on the edge of the air manifest zone, the kingdom of Stormspire.
Okay.
I believe.
So it failed 30 years ago. These corpses seem to be 3, 4, 5 years old.
Well,
so
minimum
was
so.
Yeah. Maybe they came up here.
They could be older.
Could be older, but maybe
if they are older, then there's something unnatural preserving the hair on their bodies.
Right.
Gotcha. So maybe they came up here to, gather riches to bring their old.
Yes. Improve their.
Back.
Yes. Improve their resources, perhaps.
Maybe.
return their failed country to honor.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we know how that looks like. We know how that went.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess if the archaeologist is secure in your arms, perhaps you can leave this place and find a way out or down, or
Sure,
maybe we have
lead the way around.
perhaps we have to go up. I do not know.
Maybe lead the way, Zandra.
I
Go
will.
around and see.
Follow me.
Okay.
And start walking around.
Roughly an hour of searching,
Mhm.
and you do find a rope bridge to one of the other tours.
Ah.
It's old, it's rickety, and near the rope bridge is the remains of a very old camp. Some tattered, destroyed tents, some pots, and so forth. And it was sheltered by a stone outcrop,
Right.
protected from the ravages of time for the most part, but I mean, it's been here a long time. And you could, with still the remainder of your advantage there, easily tie this to them.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
As their
Got it.
Yeah. And nothing else of import on maybe who sent them or stuff like that.
There is a little bit more adventuring gear here. There is some rope and grappling hooks, about 300 feet of silk rope. There's 3 grappling hooks, and some climbing gear like spikes and pitons and whatnot.
Well, it could come in handy. Shall we grab it?
Yes, I think so. I don't think these items will be cursed like the precious metals and stones in the tombs, so we should be okay.
And they are all that stuff is stored in, along with a couple more shovels and pickaxes and some camping gear. All that was stored in some old beat up military grade backpacks, but those backpacks are in just absolutely torn up shape.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have a pack. I've got a utility vest or something, I guess. I guess I'd probably have something that I'm carrying the tomes of the knowledge in, like a sling bag or something, maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But really nothing beyond that.
I think I can take
shoulder bag, probably.
I do not have much as far as bags or accessories like that, but I can take the rope, at least one grappling hook in case.
Okay.
I'll put the like the pittons and stuff, I guess, in the shoulder bag.
All right.
I will take one of the grappling hooks, and if it's of an appropriate size, I will store it in my hidden compartment.
Is there like you said that were there like small little hammers or a hammer for like the pitton or something?
Yeah,
right. Climbing gear,
full set of climbing gear. It will give you boost die to climb checks. The climbing gear. The ropes themselves don't appear to be too damaged. They've been worn with time, but not to the point where they won't hold weight if properly secured.
Okay.
And again, there is a constructed rope bridge that connects this tour and the next one.
Right. Nothing going on, it seems, on the next tour, from what I can see.
Nothing appears to be going on over there, no.
Okay. Well, I could take
Shall we head over?
I can test it out first if you wish. Perhaps with this silk rope.
How far across? How far across is it? 100 feet maybe? Or?
Oh, no, it's 300 feet.
Just
a football
maybe,
field.
Yes. Just at the extreme of this rope. Well,
hold on.
Yes. All right. Well, just in case you will maybe I guess I'll keep the rope. I don't know.
Yeah, you can hold on to it if you want.
All right, I will try it, and so Zandra will cross over, put her revolver back in her pocket in her holster, secure that, and secure the rope around her, and we'll start walking across carefully, making sure that she's always got a firm handhold before lifting one foot and setting it in front of her.
Okay. You're going across,
Mm-hmm.
and you're picking your way nice and careful. I'm not going to make you roll. The rope bridge appears to be alchemically treated to last over the ravages of time. Though it looks old and rickety, it's very sturdy. You get about halfway across though, and I need you to make a discipline check.
All right. All right.
By the way, don't look down.
This is going to be average.
All right.
And this is a fear check, yes.
Right. Okay, then. All right. Maybe she can get a boost up because one of her strengths is that she's confident and carefree. She's sure that this can hold when she notices that there's an alchemical treatment. Like, yeah, they'll be fine.
Invoking the strength. Very nice. Go ahead. You may have your boost die.
That's great.
All right. I'm happy. I'm happy with the check now. Are you?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Oh, nope.
All right. You know what happens when you fail a fear check?
I'll wash.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Not much.
Well, let's think about it. You get halfway across, and you look down.
Yeah.
And you suddenly feel woozy
Yeah.
and lightheaded, and you just kind of stand there, frozen, holding the ropes.
Yeah.
Are you okay out there?
And you look down, and when you do, you see a shadowy form leave the lower portion of the tier, of the tor. Sorry, lower tier, and float in the breeze, and it has long leathery wings, a pointy head. It almost looks like some sort of dragon from your position, although you've not ever seen a dragon like it. And it lets out a shriek as it flies off.
Right.
It just floats, flaps its wings a couple times, and floats. And you two hear that sound on the other side, and you can look down and see that. And Richter, you don't have to roll because your tenure as a professor, you saw many bones of these types of creatures. It's a pteranodon.
Did not expect to see that out here. Or did I?
She looks like a sitting duck. Should we help her?
Well, I mean, we can only do so much. Fiery one, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just taking in the air.
It's just a pteranodon. It's no big deal.
I'm letting the wind blow through my fiery mane.
Their roar is much worse than their bite.
Shut up. Be quiet. You're attracting its attention.
No, I'm pretty sure that roar is loud enough where it can't hear me. You're fine.
This is 150 feet apart. You're yelling at each other.
I know. Actually, I probably have the rope. I probably have the one end of the rope, right? Are you?
The fail check was just a simple failure. So after a brief pause, you work up the courage to continue.
Yeah, so I'll just push forward and just keep going.
Gotcha. But for a second there, you were white knuckling the rope, looking down, going, "Why did I look down?"
did
And
warn
so-
you not to look down.
Which
She
made
gets
me
all
look
the way
down, of
across.
course.
Don't look down. What? Ah!
That is not my fault. I
Yes.
simply suggested you do not. If you do, that's your choice. Don't blame me.
Whatever. Now come on across yourselves. Let's hope that you do not fall over.
You get all
77?
the way across, and you see when you get there, there's signs of more tomb entrances
Mm.
over here. 3 more that you can see, and given the concentric pattern that they're in, you think there may be even more continuing around the edge of the tor out of your sight.
Gotcha. Well, as long as nothing is causing an immediate danger or source of an immediate danger, then I'll just turn around and wave them to walk over.
I could go next.
And
Unless
just
old 77, unless you want to go next, I could go. I could bring up the rear if you want.
yeah,
I
and I'll
turn to
just
you.
I'll pull out my revolver and just cover them in case something happens.
77 will turn to Richter. Humans first.
Oh,
And he does the motion.
I'm not
for you.
human.
Go ahead.
I'm not human. You metal brain bastard, you. But I will go. Thank you. Well, I'm not human anymore. Then I go.
Still more human than me.
We'll see.
All right, Richter starts to go across. Same thing. You get going along. Get about halfway. The wind is blowing. And it's swaying back and forth. And discipline check.
Average, right?
Yes, sir. Same thing. You get to almost the same spot she did.
Oh, jeez. It's been
And-
years since I've done this shit. Damn it.
Yeah, just
You're
like Zandra, no
down.
successes, no failures.
The thing sways for a second.
Well, if I'm going to go. Crap.
And then after a minute or two, you work up your courage and go.
How many more of these fucking things will there be? Damn it. Make my way all the way across.
Right? Old 77.
Do you believe it's my turn to cross?
And you get about halfway, and the unconscious professor begins to stir on your shoulders. Oh, throw a setback die in there, please.
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh, that can't be good. Oh, she's waking up. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
I assume since you're using the ropes that you're kind of fireman's carrying her over a shoulder. Okay.
That look good?
Yep. Lots
Four
of failure
fail-
with it.
Four
Lots
failures
of failure.
to advantage.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. 4 failure to advantage. We have to read those off.
That's right. Yeah, Zandra and Richter basically got washes. Just just complete washes from what we had. So
That's it. No successes at all. So basically, a failure.
My goodness, ma'am, could you please stop squirming?
She just looking down. She's looking straight down your back, and she just blood curdling scream. It makes you want to hurry across. It's loud. It hurts your crystals in your brain.
that resonating frequency.
Mm.
And so, yeah, you fail miserably. You're terrified of this height. This is unreasonably tall. No one should have built this in your mind.
Logical.
But there's only one way to go.
Humans are an anomaly. I swear. building the most strange things. But you do have good treasures.
And you finally get to the other side, and you can set her down. Why? What the?
Take
Oh,
a breath.
Professor Coffee. Hello.
Well, we made it through the portal.
And of
you
course,
probably didn't remember that.
I'm terribly. What portal?
Well, it's like this. You remember the Sand Kraken?
Sand Kraken?
Well, yeah. Oh, wait a second. You were knocked out.
My men were fighting off some terrorist raiders, and
Why don't you come over here and have a seat? I find like a rock or someplace.
now
I
this
let her
woman
know. Yeah.
Is a former colleague of yours from university, and she is. Her name is. I had it here, and then I misplaced it. There it is. Professor Calliope Ambrose. And so Professor Ambrose, Calliope for you as a colleague, everyone else, she'll answer to Professor. She still is a tenured university professor in the city of Shattered Crown.
Gotcha.
And with an expertise in mostly southern antiquities, as the Shattered Crown is on the southern edge of the continent. So this is well beyond outside of that area of expertise for her.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's roughly 5 foot tall. She has dark brown hair that she keeps up in a bun. She is dressed in archaeologist's typical, comfortable leathers, with a leather vest, and
lots of pockets.
lots of pockets. She did have at one point a hat, but that blew off. And so her hair's kind of disheveled. She has tucked inside her vest. She does have a shoulder holster with a small pistol, a little holdout pistol on it.
Gotcha.
That apparently they left on her because she had been out cold when they kidnapped her.
So
All right.
Richter really doesn't have the charm or anything for this. So he basically is. He's like, well, there's really no easy way of saying this, but your men are dead. Your team is dead. You were knocked out, taken by a group. We followed you. They made
a lot of noise coming out of camp and woke us all up.
Yeah, we were able to follow you. A big sand kraken they summoned surprised the shit out of us for sure. Was able to decipher this tablet, the tablet that, oh fuck, where the hell is it? God damn it, left it in a damn vehicle. Damn it. Uh-oh. That was probably a mistake. Or no,
it turned to dust when you guys arrived.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Portal.
Yeah, I was able to decipher the tablet, create a portal to get us the hell out of there. Overmatched, and didn't want to get eaten, to be honest.
I knew
we're here.
I knew it. I knew that cylinder had something to do with the portal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely used that. They used it. Got us here. We're in the crying sky, and I go into a little bit of yes. Oh yes. Look, it's beautiful. And I describe how we came through the the tomb and go into what I kind of know.
Well, she looks around and she's just typical glee at an archaeological find like this begins to appear on her face. She starts to show more energy. And she's
disturbing these tombs though. I don't know.
There seem to be more tombs along the outer edge of this particular tower we are now on. Perhaps there's a way that spirals down.
Maybe.
I haven't gone any further. I was waiting for you, of course.
Well,
Perhaps now we can keep moving and see what this place holds.
I defer to Professor Coffee. These are more in your area of study. I stand by to assist.
Well, appreciate that.
I would recommend
Oh.
not touching anything, because
Probably
you
would
may
not
end up
want.
experiencing a fate more terrifying than that bridge back there.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Professor, if you're ready to move under your own power, we can keep going.
Yeah, of course.
Try and
Very
find a
good.
way off of one of these things.
Yes.
Find out.
Yes. All right. So Zszree will take the lead and moves cautiously down one hallway. We'll pick a direction. Let's go to the left. I heard going to the left all the time is very good tactics.
Well, that's true. And
All
if
right.
it goes in a circle, you'll eventually end up on the right. So, we'll be fine.
Now, again, this has an outer, almost like walkway that is a
Mhm.
maze of columns and worked stone. And then on the inner wall are several entrances into what looks like more of these elven tombs. And they are, again, covered in the inscriptions. You determine it is the old ancient elven script. And the first passage that you chose, you go down it a ways, you see more of the same burial style chambers.
Right. All right.
Return. Now you can go around the door and search.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that.
There's a way down.
Well, if there's a way up to bury these people, hopefully there's a way down.
All right.
That is true.
Someone make a party vigilance check. Who's ever best at it?
I'm pretty good at it. I'd have 2 yellow and a green.
Okay.
I have 2 green.
I have 1 yellow.
Go for it.
So,
Go ahead,
Stefan,
Zszree.
you're
All
going
right.
to be making the roll, and it's going to be average difficulty.
Right.
Thank
All right then. That look good to you? Looks good to
I
me.
don't have any
it's-
talents that would add to this or anything either. So, nope.
Uh-huh.
Nope, looks great to me.
All right. Oh.
All right.
I'll wash
So-
again.
A wash. You're not good at this game, Stefan. 2 washes.
No.
You haven't rolled positive or negative.
I'm clean though.
Fairly neutral.
That's right. You have a clean slate. So what this means is that it takes you guys searching every entryway. It takes you the rest of the afternoon to search this tour before you find out which one of these tunnels is actually a staircase that begins to go down inside the tour. Inside this huge rock column. It goes down several hundred feet before it opens up, and it's just an ornately carved staircase. But it opens up to what I mean is that one whole side of it, whereas it was all just stone all the way around you, one whole side of it opens, and you see several nests built into the stone out there where these pteranodons are nesting.
All right.
Okay.
Now
Is
the
there any-
staircase is stone. It's about it's wide enough that you could walk 4 abreast down it, and on the right hand side is stone wall, and it winds around the tor going to the right. On the left-hand side is open air, but you've got a 4-foot stone railing
Right.
edge on
Okay.
that side, 4 foot tall. So it's wide, but there is a stone barrier that you could kind of hunker down next to so that these things don't see you if you want to.
I
Yeah,
think that might be wise.
That sounds like a plan. Try and sneak on out of here if we can.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
we don't have to fight them.
Old
Let's-
77, why don't you make the group stealth check for me? You haven't rolled much. Stealth is more your forte.
That's right.
And this is going to be average, but because they have very different viewpoints, I'm going to throw in a setback die because they can see you from different viewpoints.
I will immediately remove it from my knack for it with stealth.
Very nice.
Because
You will get a
I have a
boost
knack
die
for being
because
sneaky.
it is twilight.
all right.
Finally, some successes.
Two successes.
Two successes.
So before we start sneaking, I turn around to the female professor. No screaming this time.
I didn't scream at the creature. I screamed at the drop.
Still, no screaming.
If you were being held upside down over that bloody thing, you would have screamed the same way. I'm sure of it. Maybe not
No,
as loud.
I don't have vocal cords. I wouldn't have screamed the same way.
Yeah, would have sounded like a train whistle. Is that what you're saying?
Something
Teapot.
along those lines.
Tea kettle.
Very well. After you, good clockwork man.
And then I'll lead the party down, sneaking.
Okay. You guys take your time.
Yeah.
Sneaking, avoiding getting the attention of these things. It is a long, long walk. It is well into nightfall when you finally reach the base of this tor.
Okay.
Now, at the base, there are the staircase opens up into a large stair, like a dais type stair, and flanking either side of the staircase, facing away from the tor, are two 40-foot tall statues of elven warriors. And now you see your first elf that you've ever seen. None of you have ever seen an elf. They're long extinct.
Right.
Pointy ears, angular features. These are made of sandstone, but they have coloration of a deep brown hue to their skin, and the color patterns on their clothing still show on the statues. And well preserved, obviously preserved with some sort of form of preservation magic. And they stand, and the thing that you recognize about them is that they stand like they're standing vigil. They're holding a large hooked spear, just like you saw the warriors on those on back of those large Kresh hounds that you fought in the desert.
Oh, okay.
The same type of spear.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, peculiar. Oh,
And
it's getting dark. Maybe we should find some place to rest.
ranging out before you is a ruined city that has been overrun by jungle. And several more, the city continues through the tors, and the tors rise upward as part of the city.
It's part of the city.
Okay.
The nearest dwelling near here. How close?
We could try and check it out, yes, and see if we can find a place to rest.
Yeah, are we talking like, quote unquote, like a block away or something like that? I mean,
Roughly.
talking pretty close like that. Well, yeah, let's go to the nearest one.
All right. So
Um,
Check
you
that out.
travel off into a ruined building. It's a stone building.
Yeah.
And of ancient design. And you
Fascinating.
find your way in, and you find yourself a place where you can shelter for the night,
all right.
where both Zandra and Professor Ambrose can rest.
All right.
All right.
I guess I really don't need to rest, do I, as being a revenant?
As a revenant, you do not need to sleep, and the clockwork does not need to sleep. Now, I would say you guys probably have a nightly ritual that the two of you do, perhaps a nightly chess game, or a nightly game of cards, or leave each other alone, do your own thing, whatever you want to do.
Probably a little bit of both.
All right. And Zandra will make sure that the professor is safe next to her, and we'll just find a corner that's out of the way from whatever these two guys will be doing.
Okay.
She doesn't need to do a tour of guard duties.
I will try and look for maybe the names of maybe some of these elves, or if I can what do you call it? Do some research on the elves, over the night. What I have in my books here. So, but this probably is a pretty good time for a break, huh?
Pause. Yeah.
Let's take a brief pause.
All right.
All right. So you guys spend the evening relaxing. Richter Coffee, you said you were going to study your notes. What is Old 77 doing?
Oh?
While the other two sleep.
He's gonna sit there and contemplate how badly he wants those riches that he can't grab.
Lamenting the coins and the jewels passing through your steel fingers earlier.
Yeah, while he has one coin, then he's just like flipping back and forth between his fingers, kind of like how Jack Sparrow did in Dead Man's Chest.
I mean,
Nice.
Richter can understand, because Richter's fear is poverty. Okay, and he enjoys the comforts of life, and his biggest flaw.
This was kind of contemplation, right? So
Yeah,
you're not
This is
sharing.
contemplation. I'm not actually doing it. I'm just sitting there contemplating how badly I want those. My desire is riches, and I'm letting so many riches go through my hands right now.
I just see the dollar signs in your eyeballs, kind of reflecting off the torchlight, probably, right?
All right. The two of you do hear the sounds of night predators moving about, hunting, occasional creature of the night letting out a cry. But other than that, your particular chunk of the ruin here is pretty quiet.
Okay.
And it is, a short 8 hours and the sun comes up.
So I'm wondering if I could
Very
do this.
short.
I wonder if I could do this once per session action called Museum Worthy, where I make a hard knowledge check to ascertain some information regarding a relic, ruin, or piece of history. So maybe I'm searching specifically on like these elves, something particular. Could I do that? I'll do that. I'll use my once per session history check. It would seem. Yeah, that makes sense. History. Hard. Bong. And I have my tomes, I should say, of knowledge. I think
Okay.
did I say those give me boost die to history checks? Would you like to do anything to that?
Yes.
Awesome sauce. So my brain explodes and I go insane. I go mad. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes, folks. That's 3 successes and a threat. So a slight brain vessel pop, maybe.
It's been a while since you've been this deep into study.
Yeah.
You go through your notes and you perfect recall back to a tome that you read over 20 years ago. And it was a treatise on one of the Elder Thay, one of the Fey God Kings, excuse me, by the name of Crythleen de Thora. Crythleen de Thora was considered to be one of the more humane of the Fey God Kings. Strictly surrounded itself, as many of them were genderless, with elven servants. Those elven servants were given opportunities to move up various tiers of its social order and could eventually work their way out of a slave type environment and become productive members of this elder phase society. Now, of course, its children and its children's children, the creations that it made, creatures of alien design, were the top tier of its society. But the second echelon of its society, the what would be like the guards and the city planners and things like that, those types of positions were held by elves. Elves who had worked their way from servitude and been rewarded for their loyalty. And you're starting to believe that while this treatise that you read, many believed it to be heresy. All the Fey God Kings were just evil and twisted and alien and enslaved everything that wasn't one of their creations. Most of scholars of your era believed that was not, that was the case. This treatise was considered, garbage by most. Heresy, not so much, but yeah, definitely it was something that most historians dismissed it outright as garbage.
So what I've been seeing, the writings, the tombs that we had read, that went down into, so supporting this book that I've been reading.
Elven, supposedly a slave race. Elves, buried with riches.
Yep.
Riches with a powerful curse laid upon them. Plus, looking around at the ruins, you're now sitting in a slave dwelling. It's quite obvious that it was a slave dwelling, and that elves once lived here, but at a different level and a different. Like you could see throughout the city, varying levels of structure and caste. Yes.
Basically, yeah. Okay. All right. When the professor wakes up, I share with her what I've learned, what I recall, and what I've seen so far, and ask her opinion if she kind of agrees, if she thinks You know.
Well, I wasn't. Of course, I wasn't. I was but a student back when that tome came out.
Yep.
But yeah, I do recall that tome, and yes, I was one of the many who dismissed it outright as the Elder Fae were twisted, alien. They never treated any of their slaves with any respect or rewarded them for any of their hard work. That's why the gnomes rebelled and created the World Ender.
Right, but you walk through these tombs with us, with me. I see riches.
This is an offshoot elven society
Oh,
that was possibly formed shortly after the fall.
Maybe.
It didn't thrive like this under the watch of the Elder Fae.
So we know that for sure, though. Could we tell by anything that we can see here? Could we? Were these structures made before the cataclysm? Do we think? During it? Before it? I don't know.
You'd have to do a large amount of cross-checking and study of the entire ruin. Take some time.
I start. Sounds like a plan. I only have time, dear. I only have time. You know this.
Well, we have no other way of getting home right now, so I have all the time in the world myself.
Why don't
What about
we?
your companions?
Well, if you're the academics, I do not care for or are interested in such things, but there's no way for us right now to leave. You can search as much as you wish. I will maybe search for other things. Maybe they have some kind of vehicle, or maybe I don't know. Perhaps a portal that would lead us back, or at least away from here. I don't know.
Well, I think searching for a way back should be our first. I think that's what we should do first. And as we're searching for that, the professor and I, we take notes on what we may see. You know,
Of course.
know what we can as we do, but that's our priority.
Yes, well, that means you will be the both of you, I guess, the ones who will be searching for the signs of any kind of portal. I don't know what to look for. I will at least keep my eyes open for any dangers, and maybe for something, of course, that we will need to eat, because some of us do need to eat and drink things.
Oh, well, some of us don't, but some of us like to
Mhm.
drink the finer wines. Maybe,
Wow.
maybe we need to go up to one of those finer structures here. This seems to be a slave house. Maybe we go into one of the, the upper caste places and find a wine cellar. That'd be great.
Yes, perhaps. Well, all right then. Let's get going. Randra gathers her meager gear and checks on Remus and Roman, her revolvers, and
Your friend over there, he's still twirling that coin. Are you okay? Good old 77.
I'm fine. So you said we're going to go check out the upper cast buildings, right?
Yes, my friend.
we may as well.
I mean, it's purely, it's purely research to see how they may have lived as well, how well they may have lived.
Hopefully there's no cursed treasure up there.
Well, why would they curse their places they live? It makes much more sense to curse the places you would bury somebody.
Just saying.
Yes. Don't worry, my friend. Don't worry.
I don't want cursed treasure up there. I'd like to get something out of this.
All right. So we're going to do a skill challenge.
Yes, excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So this is going to be a long one. I'm going to want 17 successes.
Oh,
before 5 failed checks
Over the course of 10 years. No.
over the course
kidding.
of several rounds, which will play out over the time that you spend here.
right.
Like I said, 10 years.
History
Poor Zon.
is definitely a valuable skill here.
Mhm.
Cool.
Perception.
Right.
Let's go with skullduggery for
That
noticing traps.
Mhm.
Let me look at his skill list here, because I'm drawing a blank, and I know I want to have mechanics, because there are some mechanical devices still.
Right.
Leadership.
Right.
And range light if you're hunting for food.
All right.
Likewise, survival. Actually, you know what? I'm going to drop mechanics and throw survival on there instead.
Oh, okay.
So it's history,
Makes sense.
perception, skullduggery, survival, leadership, and range light.
All right then.
And I think that's acceptable. Now, those are all at average difficulty. And then any other checks are going to be probably higher than that, most likely. At least one. They're going to be either hard or harder, depending on what you're doing.
All right.
Now, none of you is magic-centric, but there is magic here. So
I don't think I have a magic skill.
Me neither.
I do not.
So with that being said, we will just go. I'm going to go, instead of going in initiative order, I'm just going to go through my dice pool tracker. I have Old 77 as first. I have enlisted, and then Zonderkohl, then Richter Coffee, the first round, and then I'm just going to round robin it from there. So again, 17 total successes before 5 failed checks. Now this is over the course of several days, maybe even weeks, depending on the rolls.
Right.
You guys searching and studying these ruins, and that includes, avoiding hazards and things like that. That's why the range light for, like, maybe you ran into a T-Rex or something.
Mm.
Gotcha.
Okay.
A T-Rex.
I'm sorry.
What?
some jungle ape, some beastman or
Right.
something.
Right. A small T-Rex.
I think those are called raptors.
Now, success is because this you'll determine how old these ruins are. That is success, determining exactly how old these ruins and confirming your
Or
your
hypothesis.
suspicions, hypotheses, which one is correct, whether it's a elven offshoot or whether this is actually some Fey God King's favored servants. There's a few clues that I'll throw in there for advantage. So you guys, there are some clues that you can figure out here with advantage and triumph. Failure means that you guys just failed to come up with a strict determination on how old the ruins are. A triumph may be spent at any time to find the thing that you're also looking for.
Right.
If any of you rolls that triumph, you may spend to find the conveyance out of here,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah, a way out. Right.
Exit.
Cool.
Yes.
Stage left.
The great egress.
And likewise, if you don't roll a triumph, 5 advantage on a check could be equal to that.
Right.
And also, let's get to it. So, Old 77, what are you going to start with?
Naturally, I'm going to begin looking for traps.
Let's look for
Skullduggery.
treasure.
Does this look good?
You're now looking for traps or disabling them. So skullduggery would be more used to disable them. To search for them would be more vigilance.
Disable traps.
Okay. All right. Disabling traps, which there are some. So
Yeah.
after they've been stumbled upon or whatever.
Disabling traps that one of the two professors has stumbled upon.
Excellent. All right.
In their haste to learn the history of the place.
All right.
Archaeologist. It's my job to find them.
One of the traps happens to have ensnared Professor Ambrose, and it is a delicate trap that is this chain cage that the chain basically has the teeth of a chainsaw, and the chains are sawing back and forth and moving closer and closer to her. And you have such limited time to fix it before it harms her or to disable it. So I'm going to throw in a pair of setback dice for time for one, and the danger involved for two.
I will remove those 2 setback dice with my knack for it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes,
Well,
knowing
that's,
that he knows the timing of the chains going back and forth. He's not worried.
He's seen it before.
Yes.
It's like a metronome. I know exactly how fast it's going.
It's beating like the same beat as the beat of my heart.
Are you happy with your dice pool?
I am.
Roll away.
Oh,
2 advantage. No success.
no
So
success.
that would be your
failed.
first failed check.
Out of how many?
5.
5.
Okay. Before 17 successes?
17 successes.
All right. So way to start it for us there, Sean. Glad you joined us tonight, buddy. No.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how the dice treat me. Don't blame me.
Got that fanning
Well,
luck.
I blame you. Yeah, that's right. I blame your father.
You've seen how the dice treat me in Starfinder.
I do.
Can't be worse than Daryl.
You had a pair of advantage. What would you like to do with them?
Notice a clue?
Sure. Okay. So the particular place where you found this trap was on a device that appeared to have been a elevator. Now this elevator didn't have any working mechanisms that you recognized. It just had a lever, and it was this golden disc, and it shot up from one level of a dwelling to another. However, when she placed her hand on the lever, it made a strange sound, and it immediately attacked. The device attacked with the chains. You're thinking that perhaps they used some sort of blood magic in the creating of their devices. So because when she pulled her hand away, there were little shaven grooves in her hand that were bleeding when she pulled her hand away from the lever. So it would appear that it tasted her blood and did not find it worthy.
Must have known her blood was not that of Elven.
Or of a particular caste of Elvens of their society. So that's 2 advantage. All right, next, Zandraco, what are you doing?
We'll use her perception to try and find clues.
Okay.
Whether it's for the conveyance, a way out, or other things. We'll see how it goes. And what the hell, she'll spend a story point.
Alrighty then.
That.
So moving around these ruins, you're doing this during the day mostly?
Yep.
Okay. Jungle undergrowth really bad throughout this lower portion of the ruins. So
Right.
throw in a setback die for the undergrowth, please.
Okay. She does have her hunting goggles, and sometimes remove perception kind of based of
This is more of
these. So, but
the weeds would conceal clues.
right. All right. Fair enough. But she'll still bring down her hunting goggles just in case.
Okay.
They may
look
help.
cool more than anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's go. And there we go. At least 2 successes.
That's 2. All right. Sweet.
Excellent.
All right. So yeah, you find a clue leaning towards, some of the clues leaning towards the age of the place. It helps. Pointing things out to the 2 professors, and they begin to study.
Perhaps, yeah. Some of the carvings might be about older times, and compared to some, as you keep walking down the wall, like, well, this seems to be a little bit newer.
Yep.
Something like that.
Right on. Okay. Professor Coffee.
Oh, yes. Doing over the course of the next few days, doing the cross-referencing on his research papers that he's brought with him and the history check that this is going to be. He's going to upgrade this check.
Now, you have her vehemently standing there and saying that she totally disagrees with you, and that her studies have shown that none of the Fey God Kings were benevolent in any way, and that she's finding ways to prove her point.
Mm-hmm.
So throw in a setback die for the
Okay.
that secondary opinion make you question your notes.
Well,
they were notes you took and wrote when you were younger.
Right, but I do have a knack for putting students in their place and counter arguing their arguments. So yeah, I just counterpoint everything she's saying. It's like, yeah, nice try, but there was this on this page on this tome that was on, and there was a research paper written by this guy over in the
Nice.
So we'll remove that one.
Okay.
How's that? That look good?
Yeah, pleasant.
4 yellows, 2 purples, and a blue. There we go. Oh, 2 successes and 3 advantage.
So up to 4 successes.
Oh, wow, I had 2 strain to start with. Eek. I may have to get rid of some of that. I will pass along a setback, or a boost die, I should say, to the next player because of maybe a detail about the age of this place. Give somebody an idea of what our clue, what we need to go to next, where we need to go next.
Okay. Xandra Cole, you are next.
All right.
So is it Xandra or is it Zandra?
Zandra.
Zandra. Okay. Zandra. All right.
Yes, just Zandra, my darling. Alrighty. So she's going on the hunt. She's getting hungry. She's been using her ranged light.
Okay. You get an extra boost die because Professor Coffee passed one on to the next player.
Right. So yes, and she's got already has one because of her accurate revolvers. So 3 yellows and then 2 purple. I'm okay with the dice pool. What about you?
You're hunting prehistoric creatures here, so throw in a setback or I'll be tossing a GM story point over and upgrading that check.
Shoot at the vital areas.
Yeah.
I recommend shooting the vital areas first.
What are the vital areas? We don't
need to eat the brain, so shoot it in the brain, shoot it in the head.
All right.
Small, though. Right. They're small.
All right. So let's
like
go
birds.
Hunting. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting dinosaurs. And there you go.
All right.
3
more successes.
And 3 advantage.
Well done.
Excellent.
All
so
right.
that puts you currently at a total of 7.
7, yes.
Group successes.
And
7 over 17.
At least 1 advantage to the next player, and maybe, I don't know, if it's 2 of the other advantages during the hunt, may have found some other details.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you happen to have come across you. So you were hunting this outer edge of one of the ruins, and you come across something that, well, it does not fit with the rest of the ruins. It appears to be some sort of crashed vehicle
Mhm.
that is way overgrown.
Right. So while running after this creature, I just stumbled over this thing and finally brought it down. It's like, oh, this vehicle looks a lot maybe like a conveyance we could use.
Perhaps.
So,
All right.
So there you go. So she'll start, she'll mention it to the others and start maybe uncovering the foliage that's been covering it up, growing over it.
Let's go with Old 77 next.
Yep. So with a boost die passed along.
Sean?
Sean, it's you.
Because I was still muted. I like to sneak, and I'm gonna have to teach this professor here how to sneak around the predators.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll get a boost die as Zszree has shown you where their game trails, where they hunt and whatnot. So
nice.
I will be spending a story point.
Okay.
To upgrade.
And because you're working with the professor directly, she will provide you some assistance. So go ahead and throw in another boost die for her assistance.
Does this pool look good to you?
I'm happy with your 3 yellow, 3 purple, 2 blue.
Nice.
As am I.
Well, look at that.
Happy with
3
that result
successes and 2 advantage.
Ooh.
All right, so okay, very well, thank you. She's very happy with you, pointing out where to go, and she and you both determine, with your successes, that there is actually some elevators that can be used to get it to the upper tiers that don't require those DNA test, basically blood test, to get past. And you do find that the upper tiers are either easier to move around on stealthily.
Ooh.
Okay.
Very good.
Please
Nice.
make 2 advantage to discover another clue.
The one of the upper tier buildings that you and her eventually, in fact, the first one you guys enter, appears to be some sort of public knowledge repository. Some sort of historical records hall.
Well, that'll be useful for that. Oh, what was his name? Oh yes, Richter.
I'm standing right here, boy.
His memory banks were faulty.
All right, speaking of
Snap out of it.
Richter Coffee, it is your turn to roll.
So you say this vehicle. Okay, so did you say mechanics was on the list, or you removed that with something else?
He had removed
I removed it and replaced it with survival.
Gotcha. Okay, well, you know what? I will do a science check on this vehicle to see if science. Yeah, to see if the metals and such are, it's kind of an overall assessment of the thing. Maybe it is more of a mechanics check. Yeah, we'll do mechanics on it.
Okay, so that'll be hard.
Yeah. And I will spend a story point on it.
Okay.
That'll
It
give
is
me-
very old, very ill repaired, so just the general condition of it's going to throw a setback die in there.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So
You have knack word for that?
No. However, I could do some applied research though.
Mm.
And but I have to figure out how I would apply a knowledge hidden roll to this. Maybe this is a type of vehicle that may have a bit of knowledge hidden technology in it that I notice that
Okay.
could power it. And that's how I would apply this talent.
Okay.
Basically, the talent is you can use any knowledge, skill, and intellect instead of the skill and characteristic of the check would normally require.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so then that would actually make the check this for me.
Oh, jeez.
And it allows me to do that. So that's good.
Right. And that means replacing.
Replacing the 3 green with the 3 ranks in
Yeah.
hidden that I have. And
And-
since I have a knack for it in hidden as well, I can remove that setback die.
There we go.
So peeling back some of the overgrowth, it's like, oh, that looks awfully familiar to me. I think that we might be able to get this going. Maybe. Do you want to do anything to this, Tony?
Nope.
Oh, 3
There we
more
go.
successes and 3 advantage.
Okay. You
Okay.
believe
We're at
the
13.
the device was once used by overseers. It was a large platform
Okay.
powered by the magic of the Fey God Kings themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which of course was a combination of a divine magic and what is now blood magic.
Mm-hmm.
Long lost hidden magic. This device was powered by their crystals and their magic. It was a large platform. It floated around. There was a control scepter that was used to guide it. Usually one of their creations, one of their
Mm-hmm.
monstrosities was used as an overseer, and they would fly around with this thing and oversee slave populations. This one
Pre-cataclysm.
is pre-cataclysm. This one, and it was crashed pre-cataclysm, which neither confirms nor denies
Right.
your claims.
Oh.
But at pretty close. So with my 3 advantage, I'm going to skew the, maybe with 1 advantage, I'm going to start skewing the argument that these ruins are pre-cataclysm.
All right, she's coming
Backing
around.
up-
She's coming
Backing up
around.
my claim. Backing up my claim. Hey, it's possible.
Mhm.
And
All right.
then
So
and then
you
I
have.
think, yeah,
That's
go ahead.
it for the second round. We're at 13 successes and 1 failed check. You guys came back.
Pretty
Started
well.
off rough, but came back
Yeah.
stellar there.
Right.
You have 4 more successes.
Mhm.
But Chris, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you continue on with your theory because you have yet to go first. So everyone else
Okay.
has gone first. You
Yep.
will go first this time.
So yeah, so with my 2 more advantage there, I think I would give probably Zandra a boost die to her next check, what she's gonna do.
All right.
And then I think what I will do is go into that knowledge room library thing that that old 77 and a professor found. And I'd like to do a bit of research in there, specifically using a culture check, a knowledge culture check in there,
Okay.
to do some research in there. Maybe learn a bit more about the culture here. Maybe that'll help us.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So your research under knowledge culture, you're going to roll that up. Now, this culture is long dead. You have no frame of reference for this particular culture.
Yeah.
So
hard.
it is
Not on the
it is
list.
hard check, but it is also going to get because the society is long dead. I am going to spend a GM story point
Gotcha.
because there's just assumptions that you could make
Yeah.
that are absolutely wrong on a dead culture.
Mhm.
And so I'm spending GM story point to upgrade this.
And we know what happens when a professor makes assumptions.
You're wrong.
You're so wrong. Get out of here. F. Fail.
Not only are you wrong, but you're not right.
That's right.
All right,
Gonna
Chris.
be right. Well,
I'm
wrong.
happy with your pool thus far. Are you going to be spending play or story play?
No, I'm good. I'll leave the other ones to the others folks here. So I've got a yellow, 3 green, a red, and 2 purple, and we're rolling. There we go. We
Oh,
got
you
3
are
more
one
successes.
away.
Yeah, so close. But I do have 2 threat. So yeah,
Okay.
brain
So
vessels popping.
you figure you're sitting in this knowledge repository. Now, this knowledge repository of theirs, it's not like any library you've ever encountered before. There's each bit of tablet. There's these tablets in there, and each one of them has a finger prick device on them.
My God. Why again? I have no blood to share. Fuck.
Now, just the rules on the walls written
Yeah.
are all you can translate. The tomes themselves, there are a few that don't have the finger prick, and they are the most rudimentary, rules on how to excavate a grave, rules on how to build a ship to these specific size and so on and so forth. All of the stuff that is translatable without supplying blood is always rules.
Yeah. Okay. That's the 2 threat.
So
Which frustrates the fuck out of me.
It just annoys, and so take 2 strain, 2 strain
Nice.
for all that. After you
Nice.
spend hours sifting through tome after tome,
Maybe a
after
frickin'
tome,
day. Maybe a whole frickin' day.
a whole day.
I'm thinking.
Tome after tome, you're pulling these tablets and tomes out, and they all have this finger prick type, a small golden needle.
And I've tried, and I have no blood. Fuck.
No blood to give, and none of them reveal any of their secrets to you, which is very frustrating. All right.
Though with the 3 successes, if I learn more about how to handle those grapes,
you determined that their society was very caste oriented.
Yeah.
And that knowledge even was stored strictly once your bloodline was determined to be of a certain order. Then you could access more knowledge in their society.
Yeah, that pisses me off too, because that's my strength. Knowledge is my strength, and I can't have access to it. Fuck you. All right.
And yes, the building of the tombs, they're the rules on the tombs and how they're built. And you did find one thing, and I'll give you this because you're really close to succeeding. These edicts came from, and they're the one on high, which is a common way in the slave tongue to mention one of the Fey God Kings themselves.
Okay.
These rules are from himself, itself, the one on high.
And the rules being don't take the shit out
All the
of the graves.
Each set of rules you find,
Got it. Okay.
as spoken by the one on high,
Mhm.
these are the rules that apply to this.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay.
All right. Next, Zandokol.
All right. So Zandra will try, because she's really tired. This is taking too long. So she's going to try and use her leadership to try and get both old 77, Richter, and Professor to work together, and maybe
Got it.
get some information, and maybe what one person found may help the other.
Is that boost die for me? Or not?
No,
I did pass 1D though.
Oh yes, it did. Yeah. And I'm invoking her fear of loss, because if she doesn't get there, she'll never get to see her love, or even uncredited Hugo Blitz.
Ah, yes. All right. Yes, her current love interest, Hugo.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but
that's
I will
all.
spend a story point, because of course she wants to.
And go ahead and give yourself the boost die for that second, for saying that you wanted that extra boost. However,
well, not an extra boost, but I'm invoking her fear, so that's more like a setback.
Oh, that's what you were giving. Oh, okay. You're taking a setback for that. Right. Very good. Yep. I like that. Yep. It's still not going to stop me from spending a GM story point.
I know.
And here's why. So you're trying to hurry academics.
Yeah.
I think, especially one who is essentially immortal.
Right.
And your blood, you fiery.
And the Clockwork, who is essentially immortal. These are people who are used to being methodical and taking their time.
Well, that's it. Between her fear of loss and her flaw of being quick-tempered, it's
Let me prick your finger. You fiery one. Point.
Yeah.
I need to prick your finger. Let's see if you have the blood in you.
All right. You want to see how hot my blood is.
We have a rainbow dice pool finally.
Yeah,
sure do.
At least one of every dice. So, all right, so let's do it. I'm at 2 successes and 2 advantage.
Yay! I think that's all we needed.
You are at 18 of the 17 that you needed.
There we
so
go.
Did not need the final roll from old 77. So because of that, you went 1 over. We'll even make it take less than a week. Zandra, being impatient, has made the rest of you a little bit more efficient.
Her fiery temper, the hair flaring up, bringing an extra a bit of light to them, lighting a fire under their eyes.
I don't know how you did it, but you did speed up academics. Well done.
And the 2 advantage, what would you like to do with it? I still have one more clue.
Sure. Let's go for the clue.
All right. So after one particularly heated discussion with old 77, where he's just like, no, I'm going to climb this particular tower and it's going to take me all day. And you're just going to have to sit here and watch, make sure I don't fall. And I'm going to be slow and methodical. And you're like, no. And you two have this blow up.
At least use the freaking climbing gear that we took over there.
Zandra, I have all day. I need all day. I have all day to go through all these tablets because they don't have. I can't prick the fucking thing. I have no blood. So
you
let
have half a day.
Climb.
You have half a day.
No, I have the whole day.
I'm going to burn all of this.
Professor, help me. Professor, you come here, help me.
Well, when you stomp off in a huff after that conversation, you walk into this one of the larger slave huts. Probably was once a communal dining hall, and this particular one is you walk into it. When you walk by, normally it just would look overgrown, and you wouldn't go into it. But something caught your eye, and you pull back the overgrowth, and it appears to have been someone more recent has been here. There are tables laid out, alchemical equipment all laid out throughout this place. There's sheafs of notes, and there are other things in this chamber that catch your eye, and those are two large cylinders. And in these cylinders, floating in what appears to be some sort of amber with flecks of red liquid, are a couple of these things. Let me share.
Well, Tony has shared a picture of.
This is well, when you finally see it, it is a chitinous creature covered in white and blue, almost bone armor, with 2 arms with 6 hands coming out of its head. Jeez, it's hard to see in the image. 2 arms with 6 hands coming out of the back of its head, and a bunch of fleshy tendrils trailing off its back and shoulders.
America.
This particular creature appears to be of Elder Fae design.
Okay.
Entirely alien to you. There's no sensory organs that are visible. There's no it's purely the magic of the Elder Fae that would keep something like this alive.
Right. And this has been here for a little while, but much more recent than anything else.
This is way newer than anything else you found here.
All right. So I will call to to my friends. Richter 77, come here. I have found something. Something that may help.
It better be your sense of patience.
No, that is still to be found.
That's a good one.
All right. And by the way,
I think I burned that.
by the way, Sean, I know you had a secondary motive for your character, and Chris, you did too, to find some riches throughout this place.
Yeah.
And while we didn't cover that with advantage, you guys had straight up a ton of success. So you were able to gather several pieces of platinum, gold, of dinnerware or statuary, several jewel encrusted items, and a bunch of very old minted coins, and even some enchanted, stored, ancient wine. And you two determined that you could probably sell this stuff at market for several thousand.
Nice.
Sovereigns.
Silver sovereigns.
All right.
That I like.
Well, it'll be nice if we can actually get it back to civilization. Otherwise, it won't be very useful.
Oh,
you found a nice gold embroidered, or not gold, a gold embossed chest to carry it in.
Ooh. Wonder if we could sell this chest too.
Oh, it's part of the whole loot. But just so you know, that was there. But this particular find,
it's a chest of loot.
You walked in, so you two, the other professor, you all walk into this chamber, and you see Richter. This immediately brings back a memory.
Ooh, okay.
See this? Yeah, I show him the weird illustration, tentacle thing, and so forth.
Okay. When you decided to go through the procedure to become a revenant, many of the tubes, apparatus, and the tables, all of it looks exactly like what was used on you to carry you on death.
This lab, so to speak.
The lab itself.
Just
Now
looks. Just
now the
reminds
two
me of
creatures
that.
in the large cylinders, no, that has nothing to do with it.
But it's this whole lab just brings me back to being turned into a revenant.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, this is creepy as fuck, guys. Wow. You don't see this every day. I'll share that with them.
Okay, and again, there was one workbench that had several sheaves of paper all over it.
In here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I'll go inspect that and kind of take
All
a
over
look at
here,
them.
notes. I do not know exactly what it means, but
It would seem the procedure to make me who I am.
Well,
the revenant here is.
It is written in the language of the water elemental tribes, the water amalgam tribes.
Okay. So
and,
elemental knowledge, maybe?
Yep.
Okay. Don't have any ranks in it. Okay, I got to get rid of. Okay, so I've already used applied research. Can't use that. That's once per session. Nope. Okay, so what's
We'll
the
call
difficulty?
this. Yeah, it's average.
Okay.
You see this language written a lot. So.
Okay. How's that look to you? I'm good with it.
It's just the difficulty here is for the understanding the shorthand involved.
Okay, so four green, 2 purple. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Yep. All right. So these notes appear to be a necromancer's notes. Combining water magic and blood magic to create revenants. Now, when you were created, it was a combination of those two magics, but it was done in a arcane laboratory conducted by a archmage who had studied the craft for a long time, and it cost you your fortune.
Everything, basically, yeah.
It cost you your fortune to do, and it is extremely rare. Very few people could afford it. The reagents involved are powerful and rare.
And does this, I mean, how recent does this look to us? I mean, like days, years? Dusty?
Perception check from Zszree.
all right. And difficulty?
Average.
Average. Right. All right. Looks good to you?
Mhm.
Looks good to me. Let's go. Failure, but 2 advantage.
Okay. You're not sure. The dust says it wasn't in the last few weeks. Could be months. Could be years. You're not sure. But it wasn't certainly more than a decade.
Okay. Maybe with the advantage, there's at least some time annotations, even if they're vague a little bit.
Yeah, they're time of day, and all the rituals were conducted at night.
Is do I get a sense that what's here is the papers and such is like a complete journal of what to do, or
No, they're just some
bits and pieces?
Hastily gathered notes. It's like someone just tossed out the notes they didn't need anymore.
Oh.
There's pages missing, but there's pages here that most of the stuff here is rudimentary assembly notes on how to assemble the equipment, where, so on and so forth, where to place the various injectors into a cadaver. You do note, with 2 advantage, you can find one sheet of paper that is particularly of interest, and it is dictating elven anatomy.
Okay.
And it also says that on it, it's notes on how to place the injectors into a heavily desiccated corpse.
Ooh.
I'm going to gather these notes up.
Yes.
Add them to my repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
Tomes of knowledge. I'm just going to put that in there. I'm going to
So-
say,
So you're saying that someone may have reanimated a corpse? Could that
Notes on
corpse
reanimating elves, Chris. Put
Yeah.
it in there.
Okay.
Yes, this is definitely someone was reanimating something.
So that means maybe that whatever was reanimated is still here if they succeeded? And she pulls out her gun.
well, right there and there, right? And don't you say, you said that there were two large tubes
Mhm.
with these floating,
They're dead. They're floating in the liquid.
they're floating in, but they're in there floating,
Mhm.
then they're dead.
Mhm.
Presumably going to be reanimated with these procedures, maybe? Is that what I'm getting? That seems like that might be what we were going for here, I think. That was
So-
my picture. That's what I was picturing in here.
Well,
So what
maybe,
are we seeing?
maybe I didn't describe it well enough. So
Yeah.
these two large cylinders stand at the end of a row of tables.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And tubes leave the cylinders and go to these arrays of apparatus and beakers and alchemical equipment, meaning they were perhaps siphoning something off of the cylinders
Oh, so
and
these
using it
creatures-
as a reagent to animate. Looks like up to 6 individuals. There were 6 tables. These tables are all
really?
lined up 3 and 3. They have, shrouds over them, but the shrouds are blood stained and also stained with chemicals used in a reanimation process.
Ugh.
And there's the notes were on a side table away from all that,
Got it. Okay.
but it was in this what was once to be a communal dining hall, communal dining area.
It's transferred into.
Was transformed into this makeshift laboratory, and these things were left behind, possibly because of their size.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
But
these
the
cylinders are 12 feet tall.
Gotcha.
They're metal and glass, and they're filled with an amber, but red flecked amber liquid, and
Right.
then those creatures inside.
All right. And these tables are blood stained. The shrouds are there, but the corpses are not there. So
Correct.
probably a success. Right? Thinking
Correct.
probably a success. And we're not sure. Not a decade ago. Maybe a year. Maybe less than a year ago.
Maybe less than a decade at least.
Less than a decade. Maybe a year ago or so.
Yeah.
Does it match the time frame of those guys up on the hill? Or up on the place where we came out of when we first came out? The time frame? Because those were just a few years ago. They were dressed in elven armor. Guards.
Could be.
And so how many of those corpses did we see when we were coming out of this place?
There were 4 men.
There were 4 men, 4 elves.
No, they were either men or
amalgams, but not.
Oh,
not
that's right.
elves.
That's right.
All right.
And they were in the uniform of a Dead City state.
The
from a
Dead
few
City
years
State.
back.
Oh, that's right. It was. Okay. All right. As far as we know, haven't seen any elves yet.
Nope.
Walking around. Okay.
No live ones. No.
Okay.
Well, they're a dead species.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Maybe.
We're hoping that there are not any undead species either.
Well, I'll put it this
This
way.
is interesting.
You offered your own commentary on this process earlier when someone said you were human and you said, no, I am not.
That's right.
You are reanimate.
I am.
So if someone was elven and they came back, would they be elven anymore, or are they a reanimate?
Oh, they're reanimate like me, so we're the same. Ha ha ha.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Brother.
We'll see if we find any.
I'm not an. Yeah.
So, wow.
Well, this is takes a turn, doesn't it?
Indeed, but we do have a way back at least.
Well,
After all this time.
You do have a vehicle that is in.
It could be
requires some sort of magic to be able to operate.
Well, scepter. We just need to find a scepter. Ha ha.
That you do.
It looks like there's a bit of. I don't know where we would need to go find that, but.
Well, let's then begin the search.
Okay. So you can do a survival check to for me there, whoever's best at it, if you'd like.
I don't have any ranks in it.
This will be.
I can still try.
Well, does Old 77 have ranks in survival?
Nope, mine would be just 3 green as well.
Well, to find the scepter.
Well,
this is used by an overseer.
Hold on.
Right or not? Is that what we're looking for?
Yes, and you. Okay. Let's roll it back.
Because I'm wondering.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Whom?
Whomever is best at it.
All
right. It's probably you, girl.
She's pretty good at it.
I got 1 and 1. 1 yellow, 1 green.
She's got 2 yellow, 1 green.
Right.
All right. Difficulty?
Yeah, I'm 1 and 2. So
average.
Definitely better than
Average. Right.
Sean, you're barely coming through for the recording. You're going to have to speak up when it comes time to actually.
I said, yeah, you've got better perception than me. Mine,
right.
1 yellow, 2 green.
All right. All right, then.
You were already onto something here, so go ahead and give yourself a boost die and don't ask for more.
Okay. All right, then.
You greedy bastard, you.
I'll spend a story point.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought, Tony. You greedy bastard, you.
If I was onto something, maybe something was jogging your memory.
That's right.
All right. Does that look good to you?
He was onto something. Gonna find a rod.
All right.
So 3 successes and a threat.
Nice.
What you do find are the hidden, covered via growth, new growth, tracks of a large party that left this place and appeared to have left in a hurry.
Oh, right.
Which the only reason their tracks were covered is because the vines have overgrown their tracks. Their tracks head due west towards the big wall of storm.
Okay. So people have all of a sudden fled this area, and then long enough ago that plants have grown over their tracks. So that might be at least more than a week, or more than a month.
All right. Do you know for sure that they have the scepter?
I don't know what they were carrying.
More in a vault somewhere else.
I don't know what they were carrying. I just see their footprints.
The perception is to find the tracks.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you think perhaps that the tracks, those are similar tracks to the ones that you found around the conveyance that was crashed, and you think perhaps the scepter was
kind of
taken,
carried off with it.
Probably. And they head into the storm.
Towards it. It's
Towards
many
it.
miles off in the distance,
Right.
through many miles of jungle.
Oh, fascinating.
So I guess we have to go into the jungle if we want.
We have to, though. Do we have to?
You want the scepter or not? That's the only way to get back home.
Right.
And so you can cash in on all your treasures you found here and write all your new papers about your theories.
Count me
Oh,
in.
there's so much more to find and discover here.
Yes, but as long as we know how to get here and come back and go back home, then you can come back and research as much as you want.
You just want to get some nookie, don't you? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, but that's not the point.
Is it though? Isn't it though? For you, Zszree.
Yes, while you and Mr. 77 can spend your eternity here looking and discovering and dusting things.
Well, and drinking. I mean, this wine was pretty good.
I don't dust anything.
But the rest of us human beings, or at least living beings, still have to eat and.
Well, you've been finding sustenance, right? I mean,
yes.
Kill one of those dinosaurs. It smells good. Yes.
Yes, but I am not as interested in your books and your funny little drawings on the walls.
Don't worry, I'm not interested in them either.
Come on, Professor. Back me up here.
I do have a family to return to.
Okay.
I have not the fortune that you had. I wouldn't mind taking my share of the treasure back as well. Selling it.
Well, I understand. Would you be interested? So then I just start walking to the west with her. All right, let's go. Well, would you be interested in maybe if we put together a expedition to come back here?
Now that we could discuss at length.
Well, apparently we have plenty of time. That storm looks to be far away, and Zszree believes we have plenty of ways to go.
You spend most of the rest of the day walking down this trail, and eventually the vines kind of recede, and it is what was once an old road. And half the day goes by, and you come to what appears to be a crossroads. And there is a large stone pillar with engravings all on it in Elven.
Oh, wonderful. More little scribbles on the stones.
Well, would you like to translate for us? Maybe it'll help us find that scepter.
I do not speak ancient Elven.
Oh, you don't? Oh, so you would like me to do it then? Huh?
I think that would be your domain, yes.
Well, you've seen enough Elven in the past week of studying this place.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll.
Doesn't look like I need to prick my finger. This is
what it appears to be is a signpost.
Oh, mine.
Determining. It says the higher order to the west, middle tier to the east, lower tiers to the south. Something about this esoteric order of monks, but they're tiered, and it's their monasteries. It's a signpost marking where their monasteries are at.
Oh, a very big map. That might be useful.
Much. So from what we had gathered about these overseers, would we know which tier these overseers would be in? Would it be in the higher order?
They would be above any of that. The orders were strictly Elven.
Yep.
The overseers were their overseers.
Gotcha.
So they could go anywhere they wanted to.
So it would seem that even though the signpost is here, the overseer probably wouldn't have gone to really any of these. Do you see any tracks? This doesn't really help us, I don't think.
Let me check. Want me to keep another perception, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
The higher order might help.
Well, actually, I was going to have you roll survival earlier to follow the tracks, but because that's tracking. But let's do that now.
Okay.
Fine.
That's very good. All right. Average difficulty again?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's try and do this. You going to do anything to the roll? Or I'm
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Because you could get very lost.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, we're on roads.
All
Hopefully
right.
they stuck to the road.
Yeah, I'll spend one too. What the hell?
Hey, you could go to the northern or the southern monasteries.
Yeah. The Southern Air Temple. Anyway. Let's go. Woohoo! Lucky again. 2 successes and an advantage.
Their
Nice.
tracks continue west. They
Yes.
were large in number. You figure their number to be upwards to
score.
20.
Oh, score
and,
of them.
they were accompanied by at least one machina,
Oh,
one large mech.
okay.
Oh no, my theory might be blown to
First
shit
score
here.
of mech.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe these were explorers as well.
Explorers, maybe they were overseers.
Or
Maybe
or,
the overseers got overthrown. Maybe there was a revolution.
I don't know. Maybe Tomb Raiders.
Maybe Tomb Raiders. That's true.
Could be part of those guys that we saw up by the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Maybe.
Oh, that's it. That's why I mentioned Tomb Raiders. Anyway, old man, let's go west.
Okay.
You heard him, old 77. Go.
Huh, man? What?
Come on, he called you old man.
No, you're the old man.
Dude, it's in your name. Old 77.
All right, old men. old construct.
Oh, talking to
old beings.
All right.
Ah, beings.
Close to nightfall.
Yes.
Yep.
More hours of walking. You finally hear something that doesn't sound natural. It's a large amount of stone scraping on stone. Like a long scrape. Sorry, like stone on stone, but it's a very long scrape.
Right.
Followed by a gap of time.
Yeah.
About a minute. And then a large boom, and it shakes the ground. And then another scrape.
Mm.
Huh. All right.
And you look down, or you come up to this spot where the road is kind of eroded away, and there's this pit, and littered all around the pit are bodies in various different poses. At the bottom of the pit is this huge lake of tar, probably 80 feet across. And in the center of this tar lake is one of these creatures or things, and it's mostly submerged other than its head and 2 of its arms, one of which has its large stone sword stabbed into the side of the hill, and the other sword is smacking and digging a rut as it's trying to climb out of the tar. It is stuck fast in this tar.
I'm going to stay there for a moment and see if the thing's making any progress.
Now this creature probably stands, if it was at its full height, would easily be 20, 30 feet tall. It has 4 golden faces on its head, one facing each direction. The top of the head is sheared off, and it's a stone body with 4 stone arms. The stone arms end in 4 stone swords, and it has 4 legs. But all of those legs look very insectile, but they are mired deep in the tar. and it's up to its chest in the tar, and it can't seem to get out of the tar pit. All around it are the bodies of, you recognize them by their garb, members of the Immortal Resurgence. Terrorists.
Right.
Terrorists?
The same.
Now, the
same group.
Now, you've always known this group as a terrorist group. The Immortal Resurgence is a group that has been terrorizing the city-states of the land of Aura for several decades. They appear to be worshippers of the Elder Fae, but they lack any direction. They usually attack people who are attempting to tap into secrets of the Elder Fae. And in the case of the Out of Calder into the Fire adventure that I wrote, that you guys played in, a previous adventure that these characters were in, they were invited to a masquerade ball, and at the masquerade ball, a lord of that city in Calder was unveiling his new invention, which was a teleporter that he was going to, it was going to revolutionize travel. But agents of the Immortal Resurgence had invaded his staff and sabotaged the creation of the thing and turned it into a demon summoning device.
Yep. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
I remember that as well.
Now, one thing you know about the Immortal Resurgence is that they all wear swaddling, think Arabic raider type robes.
Bedouin.
Bedouin, yes, with turban and face wrap, and all that can ever be seen are their eyes. And when someone pulls their face wrap off, their bodies dissolve into dust.
Ooh. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that was determined and found out in that adventure. Now that's backstory that your characters would know that you do not.
Right. Poor forgot. All right.
And that you see bodies of those Immortal Resurgence, and you count them, they're about 10 in number.
Right.
Littering the side of this crater.
I wonder if they're the ones who are back in the city with all the laboratory equipment
I don't know.
that we were tracking. Should we do something about whatever stone being there is trying to get out, or just let it to its fate? I'm not
What
sure.
do you suggest? What do you would do with that?
I don't know, but
Richter is going to observe it for a moment
Okay.
to see if it's making any progress whatsoever.
It is making absolutely no progress other than digging a huge rut in this blasted crater, stone on stone, but it has been here a while. It's stone on stone, and it's digging a furrow in the side of the crater. It could eventually get purchase enough to pull itself out.
Yeah,
And
we're okay.
and the bodies that are littered around the crater do their wounds seem to match maybe slashes or attacks by this creature?
Yes, they were pummeled to death by large stones.
Yeah.
Or
Recently?
pierced by large stone.
Recently? Been
Doesn't
a while.
appear to be. Been a while since this battle occurred.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, let's
We can go around, I believe.
probably.
But now that you have a time estimate of the lab, you have a time estimate of the weeds growing over, you have a time estimate here of the battle. You've now kind of triangulated. These guys were probably here 2 months before you.
Okay.
2 months. Okay.
Based on the lab.
Yep.
Right.
And also you do notice that the crown of its head is blown off.
Right.
And it appears to have been blown off by a large cannon.
Gotcha.
The mech.
The Machina.
Right.
Machina,
Which
yes.
we don't see here. Right.
No,
We don't see the
so-
Machina down here in those corpses.
No.
Nope.
So
Right,
maybe
so
that
probably got away.
leave this stone creature here and keep going.
Follow the
Find
mech. Follow the
Yes.
mech tracks, maybe.
the tracks. Yes, we will keep going. Go around.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go around this thing now, about 100 yards beyond yards beyond the crater.
Meters.
You find the crown of this thing,
Oh.
the top of its skull. It's not really a skull, but the crown of it, upside down. It appears to have traveled that far when it was blown off.
Mm-hmm.
It's upside down. It lays off to the side of the path, and you see that it has a set of elven runes on it, and it marks it as the Eastern Guardian.
All right.
Does that mean
Well-
there's more of these?
Well, if
It might be.
well, I mean, the last thing I know is if there's an Eastern Guardian,
Yes, there might be 3 more.
there's probably a Northern, Southern, and Western Guardian. Well, why? And we're going to the west. Well, if this is the Eastern Guardian, maybe
It's
there's
very
a way
far.
out to the east.
Well, there's maybe maybe it was lured here by these creatures
Maybe.
because it's very far away from the city already.
Okay.
I think we just keep going wherever these
Follow the tracks. Okay.
yes, the tracks and
Right?
Yeah,
Well,
I'd
it
say
is
so.
nightfall,
right.
so you guys are going to have to find shelter in the jungle.
All right then.
So
We
that's
will
going
try
to
to
be a survival check.
All
Yes,
right.
it will.
Difficulty.
It's an unfamiliar jungle in an
Yeah.
alien land. Let's call it hard.
All right.
I will
All right.
assist you.
Did you hear
Right.
that, Stefan?
Yes. So we get a boost dice.
Yes.
All right then. Let's do it.
All right.
Sandra is on a hot streak.
3 successes with a single threat. So you find a nice hollowed out old tree standing, but a hollowed out old tree that appears to have been recently vacated den of some sort of creature. And when I say recently, within a week,
Hmm.
pretty sure the creature wouldn't leave a nice comfortable den like that unless it went out foraging
Right.
and was eaten.
Never came back. Yeah.
So
Right.
you sleep, rest, next day.
All right.
Uneventful.
All right.
In the night, you did hear a lot of things moving through the woods, through the jungle. Some predators, there was a large buzzing, almost like either an enormous insect or 1,000 insects traveled through
hornet.
the area. You're not quite sure,
Okay.
but the next day you start to head out, and I would like everyone to make a vigilance check.
Difficulty.
Let me set the difficulty for you. It is whoosh. Holy cats. 2 red, 2 purple.
Right.
What if we don't want to make the check?
You don't have to make it if you don't want to.
I'll still try. You never know.
I'll be the first victim.
All right, Richter failed with a threat.
Yeah, I'm just
Take a strain.
looking at my. Okay.
Okay, next.
I'm assuming I get my strain back in the morning.
Nope,
Or
failure.
not.
Yeah, your strain was back the next morning. So
Got
this would be new. Just a straight failure for you. Okay, and for old 77.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh!
Oh,
Uh-oh.
All kinds of
failure,
symbols.
3 threat, a despair, and a triumph.
Okay. The 3 threat, I'm going to go ahead and add those to the wound on its automatic hit on you. So which is coming from the despair. So what you all failed to notice was that several carnivorous plants had approached you in the night and set up around you, moving slowly, and now they have their tendrils all through the area, and one such spike growth tendril comes out and smacks old 77 and just wallops you for, let me check their damage that their thorny vines do. They normally do 4 damage. So with the 3 threat, I'll call those additional damage. So total of 7, and you can soak it.
Woohoo, I take 5.
All right. As this thing just grabs a hold of you and whips you to the ground, and you slam down. Now you have a triumph.
Indeed.
And if you'd like, I could say you already had your pistol out. Or perhaps it lets you go after a second because it finds your metal and it doesn't want to eat you.
Pew.
It lets me go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're on the ground.
Finish that sentence, though, dude. It lets me go because it doesn't want to eat me. That's better.
It doesn't like the taste of a copper man.
Oh.
All right, so
right.
everyone roll vigilance for initiative, please.
All right.
As these things get to roll, they're cool.
Okay. Well, I have. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to add 2 of these carnivorous plants to the combat tracker.
Cool. I am going to use a talent called Know the Enemy. I can use an appropriate knowledge skill when making checks to determine initiative. I'm going to use my knowledge science because plant biology, baby.
Yeah, botany.
Not biology. Botany. Yeah, botany. My course in botany about 75 years ago is going to be coming in very handy here.
I once had a Venus flytrap as a pet.
That's right. I know exactly how
These things are just large versions of that.
That's
on
right.
steroids.
Yeah. Holy buckets. So you're going to have to manually put this in for me. It's 2.03 there, Tony, and a triumph.
Yes.
All right. So 1. Okay, so 3-0. So
2.03.
2.03. I'm just trying to figure out which one to erase because it didn't clear off the last ones, but it's the 4.01. 2.03. Got it. All right. So you had a triumph.
I did.
Which, when people roll triumphs on initiative, I let them do something cool. What do you want to do? Cool.
Well, let's see here. Something cool I would like to do is, let's see. I'd like to, now was old 77, he was pulled down?
Yep.
Let go.
Pulled down. It started to drag him toward its huge maw.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I saw this coming, and I'm like, yep, they're going to go after the biggest guy. That's what they do. And I knew it was coming, so I basically came up behind old 77. It let him go, and I was right there to help him get up. So old 77 is up.
Okay.
So he doesn't have. So he won't have to. So he won't have to.
Won't have to spend his maneuver to rise.
Correct. So.
All right. So we will begin initiative with a single player slot, then a second player slot, then GM GM slot, another player slot, and a GM slot.
Gotcha.
So first player slot.
Do you want a slot for the professor, or did you want her to go basically at the end of the end with us?
One of you can just ask for her assistance.
Gotcha.
And she'll just assist. For her action, she's going to assist someone else. So,
all right.
Good.
It's literally she has the role of advisor on this adventure to fill in the knowledge that if Richter Coffee wasn't along, the other characters would not be lost if I had run this and you had chosen not to play Richter.
Gotcha.
It's a whole reason why she was here.
All right.
That's cool.
All right. Zszree will go. She'll her fiery temper. It's like, oh no! I've been itching for a fight.
Sounds like you are.
Yes,
I want to shoot plants.
Yes.
Get them, gunslinger.
Something.
I want to shoot some plants.
Yeah. Time
And
to
again-
trim them. Trying to trim the verge.
These things are probably, just the base of the plant is 4 foot wide, about 4 foot tall, with a huge
Right.
gaping maw.
Right.
But their tendrils go out 20 feet around them.
Right.
Probably
Yeah.
1.2 meters wide, right there, Stefan. Just that helps, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'll be using my approved quick draw to draw both Remus and Roman,
Nice.
and using the dual wielder as well to fire both of them. Bang, 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 bang.
Same target or one at each plant?
Let's see. Yeah, one at each plant. Get the.
Got to have that wide spread.
Oh yeah. So I don't get. I can cancel. I cancel the extra difficulty for wielding two weapons.
Excellent. So
And
range-wise, the further one away is at short range from you. The other one is at engaged range.
we'll go first for the engage one, and with quick strike, I get an extra boost dice because the bad guy hasn't acted yet.
Okay.
So gauge range, 1 difficulty, I believe.
That's actually 2. That's the higher.
Oh, yes.
difficulty.
That's right. Because it's firearms.
That's because you're using ranged attacks
Yep.
in engaged range.
All right. Very good. I'm happy with the.
Let me check and make sure that they do not have
No
have,
adversary.
any adversary, and they do not have any ranged or melee defense. So you may shoot my plant.
All right. That's 1. There we go. 2 successes, an advantage, and a triumph. So.
All right. So
Remember to
Next time.
remember to take it from the combat tab so I can just
Right.
drag damage.
that's right.
Right.
Since you've never played this before, right?
No, that's
Fair
it. It's been a while, apparently.
It is.
All
All
right.
right.
So that would be a total of 8 damage.
8. Okay. You can soak 2 of that, so it will take 6.
Nice.
And, of course, cause a crit.
With the triumph,
Okay.
nice.
Yep. Bang, bang, bang on one of the carnivorous plants. We'll go with Flora 1, Flora the unnumbered. 0-6.
Slowed down. All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't say.
A couple of the roots get blown up.
Yeah, it's not moving anytime soon.
No.
There you go.
And then I'll aim at the other one with
Well,
Roman.
do you have the talent that allows you to? So when you shoot with 2 weapons, you use your advantage to just apply damage to your second weapon.
Oh,
You don't
it
shoot
was-
twice.
Well,
Do you have
dual wielder allows me to
Reduce the difficulty.
the next combined combat check.
Reduces the
Okay.
difficulty, but does it reduce the amount of advantage you need to apply that damage of the second one? Because you normally need 2, right? Instead of just
No,
one.
it-
Yeah.
No, it just says your character may use this talent to decrease the difficulty of the next combined combat check.
So in order to hit with the
You
second
may-
weapon, you would have needed to spend either 2 advantage or a triumph.
Ah, okay.
Are your weapons superior?
No, but they are
Okay.
accurate.
They are accurate. Got it.
So would you rather, instead of critting,
Yeah, instead of critting, use the triumph then to.
Apply the damage.
Yeah, I thought I had to roll both weapons one after the other, but no.
Nope.
no.
All
All
right.
right. So the The second flora is also struck and takes same amount of damage. So
Nice.
1 bullet each. Or as it's an array of shots flying at them, but
Yeah.
one
Mhm.
Bang, bang,
good
bang.
solid hit each.
There you
And
go.
they're both wounded.
All right.
Think of
And,
two weapon fighting as weapon fighting as linked one.
Yeah, that's the best way to think of it. All right. And I'll pass the boost die to the next player slot.
All right. So a boost die goes to whomever is going next.
Yes.
Holmes 77 will go.
Go for it.
Didn't anyone teach you it was rude to attack a gentleman when he wasn't paying attention?
Right, especially with a top hat, a fine top hat like that, sir.
So I will quick draw
Good
my
thing
pistol.
it's stapled on.
I will quick draw my pistol.
I lost my fedora years ago.
Um,
Just forgot about getting a new one.
quick draw is an incidental, right?
Quick draw is an incidental, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. My pistol's accurate, so there's 1 boost die, and then Stefan passed 1 on, so that's
Yep.
2. My weapon is superior, so I've got a free advantage.
Yep.
And then what range am I from this?
The one that attacked you is at engaged range, so it'd be 2 difficulty.
All right. Well, then for my maneuver, once per round in your character's turn, they may suffer 2 strain to disengage from all engaged adversaries. So I will tumble away, back off from him.
Nice.
And that was an incidental, actually.
Well, you only have 1 incidental, but I'll let you cash in your maneuver for an incidental.
All right, I'll do it that way. And then, yeah, I'll just shoot. So now it's at short range.
Nice.
Okay.
Does that look good?
That is an acceptable pool. Although you're tumbling and shooting, so you could shoot your foot off. So let's go ahead and upgrade that 1 purple die to a red one.
Or my foot off. Stand right next to you.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, you do have 5 positive dice to my 1 negative, so
Yeah, 2 yellow, a green, 2 red, and 2 blue and
blue.
1 red.
1 red,
Free
and then
advantage.
1 a free advantage.
all right,
You
go
got
for
this.
it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Everybody, did you just hear that? No, he did not. Sean, what'd you roll? Tony's son. Tony's son.
Ooh.
Sean, what did you roll?
1 failure with 7 advantage.
Holy
Hats.
Holy crap.
That's
Sean,
a lot of advantage.
That's quite
That's an
incredible.
amazing amount of advantage. Do something cool with it. You didn't hit the thing.
No, but
Not
maybe
damaging it.
with all the lead flying, maybe.
I kind of have. I do have an idea. It'll damage it, but it won't damage it, kind of thing. But it's kind of cool if you don't have an idea.
In my tumbling around, my aim is ever so slightly off, that I instead shoot a branch off of a tree, and it lands, or I shoot something, and it lands between me and it, creating cover for me.
Well, not only does it land, I mean, with this much advantage, it lands on it. And while it doesn't hurt it, it mashes it down into the mud and makes it so that it's practically out of the fight. It just cannot
Kind
get
of
out.
like,
It's going to take it hours to dig itself out of the
Like
mud.
the tentacles were
Yeah,
kind
like
of coming
dagger.
your way or whatever, and like this branch just fell on the tentacles and the tentacles are just lapping right in your face right there, but they can't move. Right.
yeah, kind of ensnared for a long time.
For 7
Nice.
advantage. The thing's out of the fight,
Yeah.
but you didn't kill it.
Okay. I have a feeling this is kind of a similar role that happened back at Con on the Cob when I shot the canopy out over the big demon. I'm pretty sure it was something like this where I rolled way more advantage but didn't succeed on hitting it.
Yeah, you mean that Cthulhu miniature that Tony bought at the con?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, that was an
Hey.
Elder Fey demon.
Elder Fey Demon, exactly. That's
Yes.
I'm pretty
Alright.
sure this was a similar situation where I didn't roll
Yeah.
success, but I had more advantage
Carnivorous
than
flora
necessary.
number 1.
Yes.
will sprout up out of the ground. You see its roots shoot up, and it goes. It's shuffling towards you, and its vines start to thrash out towards you guys, and it's going to grab at you, Richter, since the other two are pointing their guns, and it sees you, and it wants the dead meat.
But I'm
Dead
dead.
meat.
But I'm
It's a
dead.
plan. It's a
Yeah,
plan.
no, that doesn't know.
It doesn't know no better.
It don't know better.
Well, it's
The meat
certainly
is
not going to
past
plan.
due.
Certainly not going to grab the fiery gal.
Oh, go ahead.
Exactly.
All right. So, Richter Coffee, you're my target. And
Yeah.
I'm going to be using
pick-
my thorny vines.
Yeah.
And this is and it's auto fire since it has a ton of them.
Auto fire.
So
Auto
it's
fire.
average difficulty +1 since it's auto fire on a melee weapon. That is pretty much it. It shambled forward, so it can't really aim.
Right. Go ahead and upgrade that.
All right. I am upgrading and rolling.
I have no melee defense because I'm not that kind of archaeologist. Yay, you
and the
fail.
vines just slash all around you, and one of
Nice.
them puts you off balance just a little bit, so you're gonna have a setback die.
Okay.
On whatever you do,
Yes.
you're on your back foot, backing away from the tentacles
I am.
slashing in your
I
face.
am. And what I am going to do is, I'm going to maneuver away from it such that
Oh,
this
hang on.
clockwork grenade, I'm going to kind of
Oh, go ahead. I just wanted to say that I never said what I rolled, which was no successes
yes.
and one single advantage, which
Oh, that's true.
in order to pass that single advantage onto
Right.
a setback die to
setback,
the
yeah.
next player, it's you. So
Yeah, it would be me. Okay, and then what I do is I move away from the thing, and quick draw a clockwork grenade out, and
Okay.
just go and throw it at the thing.
all right,
Right at the base.
all right.
Setback die. I'm going to spend a strain to aim because, yeah, we'll do that.
Really cool. Roll that as it is, buddy. I'm not affecting
right,
it
man.
in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, good, because, whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. All right, got three successes.
So what's it
That
look
would
like
be 11.
When this
11
thing
damage.
hits 15 of its 12 wounds.
No. Okay, well then it will. I said that I throw it at its root. So yeah, this thing just gets uprooted. The clockwork grenade just kind of hits right at its base. Kaboosh! I just hit right at the perfect spot where it was
Right.
starting to come up and kind of skim it across the
ground?
the terrain, the ground, right?
Mud.
It kind of the mud. It tripped a little bit or whatever, and I timed it so that as it's moving around or whatever, it lurches back as it's trying to, it's giving me that setback die, and it just uproots it and sends it back.
It just, and it splats
Boom.
against the big tree that you guys slept in.
Yeah, well.
Slides down the side of the tree, and its vines just kind of fall dead to the ground.
Salad,
The other
anyone?
the other one's still back there, flailing under the tree.
All
It's
right,
not going anywhere.
No, let's go out. Let's go and leave it.
That's. I'm glad you didn't upgrade that because everybody out there, those clockwork grenades that we've created for Primordial Machina will blow up in my hand if I generate a despair.
Actually, those are straight out of the Genesys core rulebook for the
Oh, yeah, that's-
steampunk setting.
Oh, I suppose they are. Yeah, it is. We do say that here. Genesys Core Rulebook. Well, that's what they are.
All
Leave it
right.
at 1, burn 1, blast 5. Didn't roll any advantage, but didn't matter.
None of you used the professor for help. She could have given
No.
you
No, I forgot about
one
it.
of you a setback or a boost die to assist you.
I thought I had enough boost dice.
You can never have enough boost dice.
Sean, with that roll, you probably would have rolled a blank on it.
You had one negative die.
Yeah.
Bet you rolled
One of my two boost dice rolled up as blank.
Yeah.
Oh.
The red die came up with the 2 failures.
And I rolled
Your
one
yellow
success.
Yeah, and your yellow die came up as one of your
One-
yellow dice.
And all the
Wow,
rest
dude.
was advantage.
All of it was advantage.
That's
Wow,
so-
dude.
That's such a rarely good roll. All right. So
It's a
You
failing
guys,
roll, right?
we fade away from tonight's session. You guys
Mhm.
walking away from the carnage of blowing up some carnivorous plants,
Yeah.
heading west, following this weeks ago expedition that was here.
Mhm.
Tune in next time.
Yes.
Awesome. All right.
I do a flourish with my pistol and holster it as we walk away.
Show off. I can do it with both guns.
All right.
Well done. Well
I don't
done.
need 2 guns to shoot when
And
I
they've
can
got-
shoot with just this one.
Yes, but imagine how much more this is. Less is more. Imagine how much more is.
Okay.
Right on. All
I
right.
don't want to spend my riches on that.
All right. Shall we end this thing then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's head on over to the wrap it up section.
All right. All right. Well, hey everybody, that is our show for tonight. Tony, well done. That was pretty fun. I loved it. So for the next time, we are going to be doing another setting spotlight, I should say. Which, by the way, some of you have said that you don't like them, but you know what? Doesn't really matter because we enjoy doing them. It's going to be the Monster World from
the
expanded-
last sample
last one.
setting.
last sample setting. Yep. And yeah, so that should be fun, and it feels appropriate. I feel like I'm kind of playing a monster, a revenant. I think that does come from the monster setting, doesn't it?
Nope.
Did it? No,
Steampunk.
that came from steampunk. That's right. So yeah. So Sean, thanks for joining us, man.
Yes, thank you.
Game with you almost every other week, every
Yeah.
week basically.
Yeah,
But-
I haven't played with you in a while. I mean, game with you.
I'm glad to join. Old 77's probably one of my favorite characters I've made, and I'm glad to always play him whenever I can.
What a concept. A construct gentleman.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know,
Right,
Construct
unfortunately-
gentleman scoundrel. He
Hasn't
steals.
had his chance to shine yet this adventure, but he will.
Yeah.
Because he really shines in the social situations.
what you
Yeah.
you mean the failure with 7 advantage wasn't the time to shine? I mean,
No, that's just a fanning roll no matter what way you roll it.
He's a good shot, but he's better with the social skills.
is he though? Is he a good shot, Sean? No.
Hey,
Certainly no
that's
sound
great.
that's 2 really
Oh.
good shots I've had against enemies in
Yeah.
both times I've played
Yep.
him. I would say
Yep.
he's a good shot.
Yeah.
Just doesn't hit what he wants to be hitting. That's all.
He's a skill shot. He's not trying to hit the
He's a
enemy. He's
Trick
just
shooter.
he's a
Okay.
trick shooter.
You go around saying, "I meant to do that."
He's not Clint Eastwood. He's Roy Rogers.
Why do you think Richter picked the frickin' grenades, man? You just gotta get close. Just activate the fucking blast, man. That's all you gotta do. Anyways, that's great, man. I'm glad gaming with you, man. Always fun game with you, buddy.
It's always fun to game.
All right, so we'll be back to Primordial Machina in a month. We'll continue this for at least one more session, maybe 2. But if you have any questions, you want to reach out to us, you want to tell us that we suck, you want to tell us that you think we're great, go right ahead. The place you do that at is findingthenarrativepodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out to Stefan and I on Facebook at Finding the Narrative. All 3 of us on MeWe at Finding the Narrative. On Twitter at FTN_Genesys. That is Stefan alone. You can have your alone time with him over there.
There you go.
And or you can tell people to listen to us at Finding the Narrative Podcast on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and more. This is Tony saying, let's tell a story and spend a story point.
And this is Stefan saying, dare to ask for those boost dice.
And this is Chris saying, remember the rule of cool and throw as many grenades as you can at Android-eating plants. Android-eating plants and salads. That's right. But you know what? Just have fun doing it, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Finding the Narrative, a Genesys RPG podcast, is not affiliated with or endorsed by any companies mentioned on this show. Any of the products mentioned on our show or appear on our website are the property and copyright of their respective owners. All items are used under fair use and educational and review purposes. All other items are the intellectual property of Finding the Narrative, a Genesys RPG podcast. Copyright
2021.
All rights reserved.